working on data side, we need to understand two things. First of all, why we need to have the data, why we need to manage the data, because every application that can be a pharma application, healthcare, or like a financial, anything, any application, it has to maintain some data. But our intention is to, by using ETL tools, right? Our intention is to move the data from one place to another place. That is for that intention, right? When we are moving the data from one place to another place, there are multiple things can happen. Like, for example, this application has been there. Okay, is the application built on the DB2? The data, all data is in DB2. Now I am trying to move the data to a different place called Oracle.
Okay.
Think about this scenario. When I am moving, there are two different scenarios. One is, till now, whatever the data is there in DB2, I have to move everything, because this business or this application is existing, okay, maybe from January 1st, 2020. Okay, maybe at that time, all the data is in DB2. Now, that application moved to a different application, the database also moving. Now, what I'm doing, I'm trying to move this data into Redshift or maybe Synapse.
Okay.
Now, okay, so this is the on-premise one. On-premises means on your servers, on your
System.
own servers. Okay, that is like your company is like kind of an maybe a State Bank, or sorry, State Farm. State Farm is a client, right? So maybe SBI Bank. So on SBI Bank, you're having all your servers, but SBI Bank wants to, move all this data and the servers onto the cloud. Okay, it's an Azure. Azure is what my cloud. From on-premise to I want to move the data into Azure. So as on January 1st, 2020, from January 1st, 2020 onwards, I'm maintaining the data. Okay, on this environment, I'm maintaining the data from January 1st, 2020. Just think about that.
Okay.
Okay. Jan 1st, 2020. And this is a daily job. This is the daily job. Means every day the job will run and it will load the data into source to target. Maybe within that DB2, right? Maybe it will load the data into source to target. Now, think of a scenario. Think of a scenario like, now I am moving the same thing over here. Okay, on what date? Okay, try to understand it this way. Everything is same, but these things are cloud. Okay, this is a cloud and this is a Synapse. Okay, cloud Azure. So my first day is February 9th, 2023. Same thing here also. Okay, here also same thing, source and target. Here also source and target. So basically what your ETL is doing here, basically your Informatica bring in the data from source to target. Here ISCS is bringing the data from source to target. Okay, so this is what the scenario. Shirisha, even you're clear on this thing, right? It's a general topic what I'm discussing now.
Yes.
Okay, here Informatica is taking care. Going forward, IIC is supposed to take care. But ultimately, whatever you are doing here, right, in both the places, Informatica is kind of an ETL tool, which is bringing the data from source to target. And here IIC is bringing the data from source to target as an ETL tool. But this data from January 1st, 2022, you have to bring all the data. That means, so from when to when the data is there? January 1st, 2022, February 8th, 2023. Right? You understand what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
What this is called? This is called historical data. You agree? Previous data, basically. Very, very important words. Historical data. Okay. Every day, just like when we are talking about, when you are living in this world, you are talking about apartments or like houses or like a food or grains or like a rice. The same way, in the projects you will use this word. You can understand the seriousness of the wording. Okay, so remember this word like anything. Historical data, okay, and incremental data. Very, very key things you need to understand. Incremental data means what? So every day from the January, this is a daily job. Okay, this is a word, daily job. Means every day this will run. Okay, every day this will run. So now think about this. For example, now I'm migrating. As on February 9th, 2023, I'm migrating. So first, what you have to do? First, you have to bring all this data, right? Whatever the data is there, maybe you are having like a 1 billion records, right? 1 billion records from it was created, like it's created on this target. It's created on this target 1 billion records. Okay. Now, my goal is first you have to bring this data over here. Then think about the rest of things. Clear?
Yeah.
First goal is you have to bring it. Then you have to think about the day-to-day flow.
Okay.
Okay. So first you have to bring, and then you have to create a kind of thing which will move the daily flow into IACS or into the new system. Now, when you are talking about the historical data, what exactly I'm going to do? Any guesses? Any guesses what I'm going to do? How I'm going to do this thing? Just think about it.
Secure agent.
No, I'm not talking about the technical terms now. I'm talking about only the process. Normally, for example, see, how can I put it? Maybe every day you are getting a postal cards or emails, okay, to your mailbox or like to your home. Okay, now you have to change your address. So what exactly you are going to do? For example, you are moving from one home to another home. Okay, you already got like so many mails till now, and now you are moving to the different home. So what you have to do now? Think of.
We have to transfer.
First thing is, yeah.
You have to change the address.
Right. You have to change the address is the first thing, but that is kind of an ongoing process, right? So that is for the incremental. For the future, you are changing the address. Right? See, the reason for changing is what? For the future, or like in future, you don't want to receive any emails over here. That's the reason you are building a new address, or like you are changing a new address. But all the existing mails, whatever you're having, you're directly dumping, right? Maybe you're putting in one box and you are taking to the new home, right? Is that correct?
Yes, we have to gather all the information.
You have to gather,
first.
exactly. You have to gather all the things and you have to dump it. Okay, so that is called historical load. You get this point?
Yes.
Okay, history load, basically. We need a very key things for you to explain your projects. Now, the address change concept, whatever you're talking about, that is called incremental load. Is this point clear?
Yeah.
So, history load will happen on Feb 8th. From February 9th onwards, your incremental flow will start. Means you change your address. From that day onwards, your mails are going to come onto the different address. Here you need to understand one thing. The same kind of logic, whatever I built over here, okay, the same logic, okay, power center logic, here I have to build in the IACS, because till now, till February 8th, the PC was processing those things, right? The same logic I need to build in IACS as well. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Only change is my target is changing to Synapse. My source is not changing. My source remains same. My source in the past also, it is kind of a what? It is some DB2 or something. Now also it's DB2 or something, but only the change is in target. Clear? My
Okay.
IIS, earlier my power center used to connect to the source and getting the data into my DB2 database. And now my IISS is connected to the source and getting the data into Synapse. But if I need to involve in this effort, okay, if I need to kind of put these things into the plate, so what are the things I need to be aware of? I need to aware of historical load, how I'm going to perform that historical load, first thing. Next, how I'm going to build that incremental data onto my new system. And the last thing, how I'm going to convert that the power center mappings into IACS mappings. Because I need to build that incremental load, right? For the incremental load, here I supposed to build the logic. Because existing PC is having already logic. But the new logic, either I'm converting this PC or I'm trying to rebuild, kind of reharvesting the things. Normally, I'll try to convert. Why to reharvest? Right? Clear on this one?
Yeah.
Now, to perform the historical data, okay, so and incremental data, this is called a kind of an activity like migration activity. Now, on the incremental data only, now think about two scenarios. For example, there is a policy, the policy got created, okay, policy and policy holder name and premium. Activation date or payment date. So, for example, I want to maintain the data like this. For the policy ID 101, policy holder name is ABC, and premium is maybe 10,000, and the payment date is maybe on January 1st, 2022. Now, this record again, like this guy, this ABC guy, again he created for the same policy. Okay, now ABC premium is same 10,000. Okay, now maybe his premium got changed this year. Okay, it got changed like 15,000 or like maybe 11,000. And January 1st, 2023. Now, what my business is saying, I don't want to maintain the data. I don't want to maintain the data like this. I only want to take only one record at a time. Okay. In this scenario, how my target looks like says, this is what the structure, right? Even in the target also, this is what my structure. First time on January 1st, 2022, he paid this much amount. Next time, okay, maybe your source, you are having the data, but the data warehouse, okay, I don't want to maintain this like all the records. I only want the latest information. Then I don't need to keep this record in my target. I just override with this second record, the latest record. That means even if he pays like maybe another year also, okay, if he pays another year also, what I will do, I will make it as a kind of a latest record. Like the 2023 record is going to be my record. Anytime for a given scenario or like a transaction, you will maintain only a single record. That is called SCD type 1. So definitely this question will come in interviews. So what is the SCD type 1? So basically SCD type 1 always maintains the current data. It will not maintain the historical data. So which one is the current and which one is the historical here? These two records are historical. Okay, these two records are historical. This one is a current. Right?
Yeah.
These two records are historical. This one is a current. Now, if I am maintaining SC type 1, I always maintain kind of a latest records or current transaction. If you're putting like in a formal way in the interviews, right? So have you ever worked on SCDs? Yes, I worked on SCD1 and SCD2. So what is the difference between SCD1 and SCD2? So SCD1 always maintain the current information. For a given transaction, it always will have only one record. That is what SCD type 1. And type 2, we'll talk about that later. But for now, try to understand. For type 1, you always maintains only one record at a given point of time. So always you're going to have a current information. you will not have any historical data. Clear?
Okay.
Try to put that in a very confident way, because this is a damn sure question.
Okay.
That's the reason I have to give this much of explanation, and try to understand the first explanation, whatever I give over here, it is for your migration effort. Okay. But here also we are talking about the historical and incremental. This will happens only on incremental, whatever the things I'm explaining here, right? So incremental means what? Increment means today on February 9th, I'm running my job. I already have 1 billion records. For example, I already have 1 billion records. On incremental February 9th, if I'm getting the same record which is already exist in 1 billion, what will happen? It will go and override that. If it is a new record, it will insert it. If it is existing record, it will overwrite it. You got this? Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's share your screen. We'll try to implement this.
Yeah, I think we are good.
Yeah, maybe try to take like one stage, whatever the stage which got loaded, right?
Mapping.
No, stage table. Which stage table got loaded? Okay, maybe you can take like stage employees.
Yeah, stage employees is not there.
Can you see the data? No, not in the source. You won't have in the source, but like see the data, whether it's available or not. Okay, can you give me the control to me?
Yeah.
Okay, now, so Shirisha, what we are trying to do now, we are trying to get the sources. It's a little bit different compared to IACS. And these are routine activities, so you have to do multiple times, so no need to worry. So, and now I got my source, which is the Oracle table, and try to get that target as well. Go to targets, import from database, and basically you will have your drivers here. So what I'm trying to do, normally this SCD type 1 and type 2, right? We'll do it on the dimensions tables. Okay, expand the tables, dim underscore. Click on OK. Save it. So SCD1 I am doing right now. So here the thing is, I mentioned, right? If the data is coming like existing data is going to be overridden, okay? Only in the scenario when you are sending a existing record. If the data is already present, that will override. If the data is as coming as a new, it's going to be kind of as a new record, okay? So just like in a policy number, right? I talked about the policy number, right? If the new policy is coming, insert it. If the old policy is there, when the existing policy is coming with the new data, then override it. That is what the SCD type. But how you are gonna know whether the data is available or not in your target? For that, we have to use the lookup transformation. We have to use it for that reason. Like dim employees, So if you look at this thing, right, employee ID is a key thing here. Now, if I really want to know whether this employee ID exists or not, the only way I can do that by using a lookup transformation. By using a lookup, I need to perform this activity. Always remember, remove the unnecessary columns. Okay. If you get confused, that's okay. You can leave this part, but like unnecessary columns, better remove it. So in my lookup, I'm just having only one port. Okay, and what I'm trying to do from the incoming employee ID is available in this lookup or not. Then this lookup is on my target table only. So what I need to check whether this lookup, whether this employee ID is available or not. That is what my main intention. So that is what I'm checking here. Apply, click on OK. Now, if he is available, what does that mean? You have to update it. If he's not available, you have to create it. For that reason, I'm going to perform this operation based on a router. Router is a transformation which will route the data. Okay, so the basic difference between a router and a kind of a filter. Filter is a transformation which will filter the records, but router which will route the records to different groups. But one difference. What is that? The router transformation, I do have a new group. Means, for example, if the data is not matching, okay, with any given condition, then the data has to go into one separate group that is called kind of a default group in router. Okay, just remember that point. Now, okay, maybe I don't want to confuse by bringing a lot of points here. What I'm doing here first, okay, to avoid the confusion. Okay, I'm taking a router. My first goal is first try to bring your source data into router. Okay, now I have to derive two groups. One is for insert, one is for the update. Based on what? Based on this employee ID lookup. Okay, so I'm trying to understand here. I am not taking the one which is coming from the source. Okay, I am taking the one which is returned from the lookup. Okay, just add in the bottom. Now in the router, you have to create two groups. One is insert and another one is update. Update. Okay. For the insert, what is the rule? Whatever is coming from my lookup, okay, what is
should not be there.
Yeah.
False.
So what does that means? It should be null. Right. This is the one, employee ID 1. So is null of this employee ID. So that means what? The employee ID, whatever is coming right from my target, is null. Nothing is coming back. That is what? Null. If this is true, go to insert. Not is null means something is there. Then update. Okay, validate. Okay. Now apply. Okay. Now you can see how many groups created here. First one is input. Okay, that is not called a group. And the second one is an insert group. Sorry, not the second one. First one is an insert group. Okay, and second one is update. And there is a by default, there will be one more group. Means whatever is not falling under those two conditions. Okay, those things will come as part of the default group. Okay, now to perform that insert update, right, I need to have an update strategy transformation. I need to have an update strategy. What is the use of update strategy transformation? It based on the condition, whatever you give in the update strategy, right? It will perform that specific action. For example, I want to insert these things. Okay, insert these things on my target. Then I need to select this as into update insert flow. So to perform the insert, right, there will be a property in this one, either 0 or dd underscore insert. Even this one is a key thing. Vanilla, for your interview. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So what you are doing here, what I'm saying is for this update strategy transformation, try to give a condition as dd underscore insert. dd underscore insert is a keyword here. Okay. UPD insert. The name you can put anything, but put a meaningful name, either dd underscore insert or or numerical part as a 0. Just mention 0, even it'll work. And the second update strategy transformation I'm taking for the update. And the properties, what will be the property for this one?
Update.
dd underscore update or numerical 1.
Okay.
Clear? Now, let's see. For insert, what I'm saying is try to link these columns over here. And remember, you no need to link that last one, which is coming from the lookup. That lookup is only to maintain a relation, to identify that logic. That's it. And I have to take the same instance once again. Because the same one, the target is not going to same. Okay, and the same thing. Here also same way. Now, try to see how this mapping looks like. Okay, what I'm doing, I'm taking the data from the source qualifier, and in the lookup, I'm trying to figure it out. Is this data is available in this target or not? If it is available, I'm sending a kind of a indication to my router. If it is not available, I'm sending another indication over here. Okay, if it is available, I'm sending it to update. If it is not available, I'm sending it to insert. Okay, that's how I created this flow. So save this. Okay, and I'm just building a quick session for this one. And even if you don't understand, don't get confused, Shirisha, because you need to understand the basic things.
I'm getting the concept, Chaitanya.
Yeah. So, yeah, but the tool wise, don't worry much.
Okay.
So this is a workflow manager where you will run the jobs. Just make sure you have all the properties properly configured or not. For source stage, DM, lookup, yes. So here you have to change. Because you are looking upon target. There's a reason I'm selecting dim. Okay. And whenever you're using upgrade strategy, right, always make sure the targets treat the source rows as a data driven. Even this is a one more important question. So if this option is selected, like whenever you are using upgrade strategy, this option has to be data driven. Okay. So people might ask, what is that session property you have to take care?
Okay.
Now I'm running this. First time what will happen? All the records will come as part of the insert. Okay, 99 records. Everything came as an insert. Okay. So because nothing is available, right? So everything is an insert. If you want to see, you can see employees, right? insert, right? Employees. Only update is what, like ended with 1. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Now, if I rerun this job, what will happen? Everything has to come under update. No duplicates need to create it now. Make sense? All 106 records came in. You may ask, like, why I got 19 and earlier? Why now? Why 106? Because there are some duplicates. The duplicate is like again updated multiple times. Okay. To avoid that, what you can do is you need to put like a kind of an aggregate transformation on employee ID. Okay. You need to put an aggregator on employee ID so that you can avoid the duplicates. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So will you able to do that by putting an aggregator?
Okay, but after lookup?
No, better before lookup only. Why
Okay.
after lookup? Okay. So simple thing. I can show you. Aggregator. Okay. I'm bringing everything here. An aggregator, I just want to group by on employee ID. I just want to take only one record for each employee ID. I don't want like duplicates on this one. Okay. So it will give like only one record out of, even if my employee ID is having like multiple employees, right? It will give only one record among that. Okay. That group. Apply. Okay. So in the lookup, basically what I'm trying to send here, instead of source qualifier, I'm sending that from here. Actually, I messed it up.
Okay.
The reason is, you remember like that active transformation thing, active to passive, passive to active. That is what happening here.
Okay.
So let's say this. See, from source qualifier, again, I cannot send it to the lookup because this is an aggregator is an active. What I can do, okay, now I took the aggregator. From that aggregator, I passed the employee ID and I'm returning from the lookup. And from the aggregator, I connected everything to the router. Now, Control S, it's invalid because in the lookup, I changed this ports multiple times. The condition, I don't have anything. Now it makes sense. It's valid now. refresh, save. Okay. Just truncate the data once and try to rerun. Truncate. The reason why I'm doing is like the previous data is kind of a
Okay.
corrupted data. Truncate table, dim underscore employee. Now 99 records got loaded. They're kind of a records which are distinct. Now again, restart the task. Now you can see, right? Now only 99 got updated. Is that clear?